Hey everybody, LeeSpeed here. I'm back with Dueling Network once again, and I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm actually going to commentate on the duel itself, as opposed to just talking about random stuff, because I think that doesn't really work out. I mean, I could kind of do that, but I'm going to do it like in between certain plays or something. If like there's a lot of thinking involved or something, then I could fill in the empty space, if you will. So yeah, I'm playing against Vexacus4666, the head bitch in charge of all entertainment, Smexy Vexy, all those nicknames he likes to refer to himself as. You know, he's pretty chill. He's pretty chill. Of course, you don't want to get on his bad side and stuff like that. But you know, we talk quite a bit, and actually lately we've been talking about the new prophecy support and adultery stuff, and you know, he covers stuff like that in his videos all the time. He covers like all sorts of Yu-Gi-Oh news, and he's probably going to be like, he's usually like the first person to get information about like new OCG stuff, you know, like new products or something like that. But I don't know. It's just what I've observed and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm playing Mermail Atlanteans again, and I already explained in one of my other videos why I play the deck and stuff like that. But it's mainly because I like to try out different stuff, and I use a few different cards that people may question, like Abyssgunde. Again, I got a thing for Abyssgunde, but don't worry, she actually has a purpose in the deck. And if you guys want a deck profile of this for some reason, you know, I'll be more than happy to do that, and of course explain why I'm using Abyssgunde in this deck and all the crazy shit I can do. But yeah, I opened with freaking double Atlantean Dragoons and Megalo, and that's pretty broken because I would get a double search off of, you know, summoning Megalo, but also I could get other combo pieces basically, because it would basically allow me to go for Megalo Gungnir by going infantry into Deep Sea Diva, which would let me summon marksman from my deck, make the level 7 Synchro Gungnir, have 5 water monsters in the grave, and then make Moulin Glacier hit his Dark Hole and Spellbook of Fate. And yeah, I pretty much won that one. He scooped right there because I hit Dark Hole, and you know, Dark Hole would have been really, really good to have at that point in time. So yeah, this deck is pretty retarded sometimes. I mean, I love it and I hate it at the same time. Sometimes I hate how I open, but other times I do. But I don't know, it's just crazy. and it's funny because Prophecy's kind of getting some pretty broken support too. And I already talked about it in my last video, that Spellbook of Judgment or whatever the heck it is called or whatever. But now right here, he activated Soul Drain right when I summoned out my H.B.I.C. Now some people might be like, well, he should have waited till you toss something to activate Soul Drain, because the cost is tossing the water monster, and this is correct. Now I was gonna toss Marksman anyways, mainly because I wanted to blow up the back row, and I already had Abyss Sphere and stuff like that, so I could just always go for the Abyss Sphere into Lind, into anything like Abyss Spike or Abyss Sturge, and then toss the Dragoons to the graveyard, and then just go from there. So I had no reason to really go for that play right off the jump, especially since I couldn't go for like an OTK or just really strong play. But as you can kind of see here, I have to use my Heavy Storm. I hate wasting it, but I kind of had to because I had no other choice to, and Trag is kind of an annoying obstacle, if you will, just because for every card in his hand, it's like freaking 600 points stronger, and he's pretty much got 5, so he's at 3,000, and that's something I can't just run over without using a few of my cards. So I go for the Diva and the infantry, and then summon another Diva because I needed to make Gungnir just to blow this thing up. And you can kind of see where Trag is kind of an annoyance to me. Gores too, although less so, because like usually when they drop Gores, I usually have like Megalo, Diva, and some other shit, so I could go for a synchro play or something if I really need to, or if I had another Megalo, I could go for Big Eye and take the monster. So it would have worked out a little bit better there, but it happens. And you know, since Vexacus is playing Prophecies, he's gonna have a lot of cards in his hand a lot of the time. So now right here, like he ended his turn by accident, so I put the card back to the top, and then he would just proceed to do his turn. He wouldn't draw, he would just proceed with his turn, and he had 3 spell books and 3 High Priestess. That's like the equivalent of me opening double Atlantean Dragoons and Megalo. It's practically just as broken, if anything. But yeah, he had 3 Priestess. Now, I did chain Abyss Spear to one of the effects or whatever, and you know, I let Lynn die. I get Abyss-Spike, toss Heavy Infantry to search for Abyssgunde, and then I would blow up the High Priestess of Prophecy, just any of them with Infantry's effect. And yes, right here, I'm talking about how I less than 3 Abyssgunde, and again, like, if you actually want me to do a freaking deck profile and, you know, me explain the whole deal, why I freaking love Abyssgunde or whatever, leave a comment. Like, I don't know, like, I'd love to read your comments, and, you know, I'm gonna try to respond to as many of you guys as possible. I don't know, it just doesn't seem all that hard. I mean, I know for some YouTubers, they get like a bajillion comments and they can't respond to everybody, but I'll try to respond to as many people as possible. But yeah, he goes for a number 11 big eye. It took my Gungnir, and I'm like, wow, I'm in a tight spot here. Now, here, I didn't take extra damage because of Spellbook of Power, I think. Yeah, because of power, one of his High Priestesses got more power, so I actually lost that game there. So yeah, I drew Megalo. I was gonna go for a big play using Abyssgunde, and that's kind of why I run her in the deck. Now, right here, I actually side in stuff like Goes and Match, which is useful, of course, because, you know, all my monsters are mainly water, and it's gonna stop. It would stop Vexacus from summoning any. Like, if he had High Priestess, he couldn't summon like Trag. If he had Trag, he couldn't summon High Priestess and stuff like that. So yeah, I go for the Abyss Sphere, I go for Lind, and he's like, yeah, I saw that coming, because, you know, I mean, I would just set 1 unless it's Compulse or something. But yeah, I just go for the yeah, like, in the chat, I think they mentioned Dimensional Fissure, and yeah, he did not, like, yeah, he did. I'm gonna spoil it right now. Like, he does not draw Fissure. I do not draw Abyssdeuce, or I don't draw my Goes and Match. It's funny because I actually side and I don't draw the shit that I needed. So yeah, and I'm talking about, yeah, and I know that like Mermail Abyssdeuce is on DN. I just haven't drawn him. And actually, after this game, I think I'm running like 2 copies in my build right now. Just because, since he's an aqua monster and not a sea serpent, you can't really search for him or anything. So it does suck, but it kind of keeps him from being overly broken. I mean, he's still kind of broken, but not to the point where you could just search for him. You know what I mean? And he's more of a defending kind of guy anyways. So now he uses Trag's effect to steal my marksman because he tossed level 3 to the graveyard, and he's gonna go for, like, I think he goes for Zen mains in defense mode, just to try to stall me out a little bit. But here I go for Torrential to wipe out the board and try to kill his Zen mains, but he doesn't, and now he has to blow something up on his own field, and he decides to blow up the tower. Now, here I do draw into Diva, and I'm thinking I could probably go for, since I noticed that the marksman was still material, what I decided to do was go for Diva into Atlantean Marksman, go for Cataster, attack the freaking, attack the Zen mains, and Cataster's effect would kick him, and Zen mains would protect himself, and then his regular attack would go through, so he would lose all of his material. And then here I have exactly 5 water monsters in my graveyard, so I can summon Moulin Glacia once again, and Moulin Glacia is freaking retarded, and it's so easy to drop in this deck. It's because now it's gonna be even more retarded when the that water elemental dragon comes out in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. Because if you just happen to have too many, let's say you had 7 in your graveyard, you could banish 2 from your grave to summon them from the hand or graveyard. Now, if you summon it from your hand, you'll have exactly 5 waters, and then you'll summon this guy. So yeah, here I was just like, wow, that's ironic, because I draw Goes and Match at the very end of the game. So could have had that a while ago, but it happened, I guess. And here he just messes around by just giving himself max life, and then yeah, it was pretty much game right there. So yeah, that's just an example of this deck being utterly broken, and yeah, nothing wrong there. So but yeah, if you like this game and me just talking over the game, me talking about a few things outside of it that kind of relates, leave a comment below. And you know, if you want to see a deck profile of my Mermail deck, I guess leave a comment and stuff like that. And or if you just want me to make a whole video talking about Mermail Abyssgunde and why I freaking love using Abyssgunde, yeah, I can do that too. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys. And oh, subscribe to Vexacus4666 for all the best and latest Yu-Gi-Oh news. So peace out, guys.